One of the great graces God has bestowed on my life as a priest is my appointment to the Diocese of Bismarck as your bishop. You would be hard-pressed anywhere in the country to find a diocese that has as strong a faith tradition and fidelity to the Church as the good people of Bismarck and all of western North Dakota. One of the important factors that contributes to this atmosphere of deep faith is access to an educational environment which allows for our children to explore the intellectual, spiritual, academic, and physical aspects of the human person. That is why Catholic education is such an important part of our lives as Catholics. Through our schools and programs, we reach out to our youth and nourish them with the life-giving teachings of Jesus Christ in the Holy Scriptures and through the celebration of the Holy Eucharist in our parish communities. We are at an important crossroads for the future of Catholic education in Bismarck. Our Light of Christ Catholic schools in Bismarck have grown by over 25% in the last 5 years, and this school year we saw an increase of over 7%. This will put us at 107% of capacity for the whole Catholic school system. This blessing of consistent growth has left us with the need to expand our current elementary schools, where most of the growth is now taking place, and provide a new high school facility to meet the need of larger class sizes as they advance through our pre-K to 12 grade Catholic school system. The generations that preceded us kept the promise of Catholic education to us, to our parents and grandparents. It has been over 65 years since the last major capital investment in Catholic education in Bismarck. And now is the time for all of us to seize this opportunity to keep the promise of Catholic education for the next several generations. As you watch this video, and in the coming weeks and months, I ask that you pray and decide how you will play a role in helping to provide excellent Catholic education in our Bismarck community for the next 65 years and beyond. I pray daily for you and your families, and I ask that you pray for the success of this important initiative for continued strong Catholic education in our Bismarck community. May God bless each and every one of you.
When you look back at when the railroad finally arrived in Bismarck in 1873, there were some bold-thinking folks who decided that they needed to bring the faith to the area as well.
These dear Benedictine nuns had this bold vision to come out to the prairies and bring Catholic schools out here.
The plans for the first church came to fruition in 1875, and soon after that, 3 years later, was the start of the first school. It seems like every year there's been a sense of maturity, and every year and every decade there's more iconic people who've stepped forward and have placed their imprint.
We're at a place in the history of our Catholic schools in Bismarck where we get to keep the promise in a big way. It's our time.
Finally, we literally feel like we found the Catholic school we've always wanted our kids to go to.
This was the first time that we looked at a school system and were welcomed in a way that, again, was just so truly authentic.
It's hard to put into words the feeling that you have. This is where you grew up. I came to understand that there were some very courageous, bold, dedicated people who made huge sacrifices to make sure the school system was in place. I think about my grandfather, I think about my dad. They were so dedicated to this school, and they were determined to make sure that their kids and their grandkids had a place like this.
We have an atmosphere that encourages us to go above and beyond. I can have honest intellectual debate. And a school big enough so it has activities like FPLA, speech, Congress, but small enough so that you learn people's names and get to spend time with teachers one-on-one.
So when parents ask their sons or daughters, what did you learn today in school? I think that the answer is a bit different, and the element of faith seems to be intertwined in whatever it is they do.
This capital campaign is about allowing something that's growing to grow more, allowing something that's thriving to thrive more. To be able to solidly position our Catholic schools, not just for the next 10 years, not in the next 20, but the next 50.
In all elements of our changes, our students have to be first and foremost. And our students right now need more space.
The notion of moving some of the classes out of the grade schools, moving them into a junior high setting in this facility at St. Mary's Central, and then being able to move the high school students to a new facility makes all the sense in the world.
For 130 years, people have sacrificed and generously given to pass this treasure we call Catholic schools on to us. And now it's our turn.
I think whenever you have that element of faith and the belief in Christ, and you can share that, education goes from a group of subjects to something that touches your heart.